Everything he cooks is great. It doesn't matter what it is.
All right.
When I have a question about cooking, I only call Fat Daddy.
You know, I don't know where this talent came from.
What can be said about greatness? Greatness.
As the founder and namesake of Fat Daddy's Bar and Grill, James Chaffin has it all.
The great home, the trophy bride, the beautiful sons, you know. That little mustache. Cute, a little mustache, so cute.
Legendary is what I would call it.
Who is James Chaffin?
James was certainly a legend.
This is Bobby and my dog.
What led to his meteoric rise to fake restaurant superstardom?
When Dad discovered fajitas, it was all over. We knew our lives would never be the same.
He was so famous.
Everywhere he would go, people would want to see him, they'd want to talk to him, they'd want to know about his recipes.
I was a little scared because I would have to start cooking for the son of Fat Daddy.
Fat Daddy is to fajitas, as me and him is to soccer.
People were going crazy for Fat Daddies.
Who are we talking about? Oh, James. James.
When the Fat Daddies took off, the success eventually took a toll on Chaffin, bringing an addiction to things that one might consider unhealthy if this story were real.
When I have this, I'm the biggest man in the world.
He was just really, really big.
Dad often refers to Mom as the sainted woman. Well, after hearing about his exploits in those wild and crazy party days, I can see why he calls her that.
Tonight, a roller coaster ride that covers the life, the love, the sacrifices, and the fajitas.
If you can find a better fajita, eat it.
That made Fat Daddy's the fattest and fakest fake restaurant in the world.
We're not here to talk about greatness, we're here to talk about James.
Today he's known as Fat Daddy to fans the world over, but he didn't start out that way. When he was born 60 years ago, he was neither fat nor a daddy. Milton and Roxy Chaffin were members of the greatest generation. They met during the Great Depression and married at the onset of World War II. He left to help win it, while she did her part on the home front. According to this telegram, Milton was to return from overseas in December 1945. James Milton Chaffin Jr. was born September 1st, 1946. You do the math. From his humble beginnings growing up in the pre-Mexican Dallas neighborhood of Oak Cliff, Chaffin seemed to know at an early age that he was destined for stardom.
A very, very happy childhood. Just the perfect, happy family childhood.
He seemed to have everything a child in the 1950s could want. Cool bicycle, a nifty homemade go-kart, a toy monkey that can blow up a balloon, and adorable little sister.
We had a great childhood. He was mean to me. And he didn't like me, I don't think, till I was about 14. Then he liked me. He started liking me then. But he made me eat bugs and dirt.
While his home life seemed rosy, James hid a dark secret. He was slowly starving to death, as evidenced in this rare photo.
He was a typical Chaffin. Skinny legs, skinny arms. Wasn't buff. He didn't like work out.
He promised himself, as God is his witness, he would never be skinny again. With ideal parents who encouraged him to pursue his dream of someday owning a fake restaurant, he was driven, but perhaps took their advice too literally when he held up his mother at gunpoint to get money to start his own restaurant. Although he started his career as a juvenile delinquent, he grew into a shrewd businessman, but not before passing through the awkward teenage years like a pack of wild elephants. Then, as if by some miracle, most likely God's grand design, he and a lovely young girl he had known throughout childhood fell in love.
Because, yeah, he was kind of down. He was feeling, the love game wasn't working very good. And so Mother said, oh, but what about that little brown girl? She's just really cute. And, he was kind of like, well, be kind of like dating my sister. I've grown up with her. I've known her all my life. But I think it planted a seed because it wasn't long before he called up the little brown girl.
I saw someone who was sweet and loving and had a terrific sense of humor. He always made me laugh.
He was to marry Thelia Brown in May 1967. Her parents were thrilled when he asked them for her hand in marriage.
Well,
Yeah, and
not especially because we didn't feel like most anybody was good enough for her. We thought that much of her.
It was a relationship that would provide the grounding James would need for the Fat Daddy fame to follow. When Behind the Mustache returns, James and Thelia make babies. And later, James discovers the secret to fake restaurant success.
Even hammered out doo-doo is good in a flour tortilla.
no, I don't think so.
It takes a special kind of athlete to play professional soccer.
Hi, I'm Kevin Crowe of the San Diego Sockers. Did you know the great thing about youth soccer is that everybody can play? Just ask the star of Growing Pains, Alan Thicke.
There's some special people in youth soccer, too. Some of my favorite people in the world, like my sons, Brendan and Robin. They love to play soccer, not only because it's a challenge for them, but they get to meet a whole new group of people. Soccer is a great all-round sport. You don't have to be a certain age or a certain size. It's a sport that every youngster can enjoy. So join the fun by contacting a soccer league near you. Soccer, you'll love it. Yeah.
2.5 years after getting hitched, an event that would change James' life forever. David was born, and he became a daddy. And with that, one half of the Fat Daddy name is established. The other half of the name would apply soon when his wife was pregnant with Michael and Kevin. James added sympathy weight and never lost it.
He thought that having children was the most wonderful thing in the world, and he loved them so much.
With 3 hungry mouths to feed, James' love of cooking and eating grew, along with his waistline. Then, one fateful and momentous day, a friend named Gary Young introduced him to the miracle that is sausage and egg wrapped in tortilla.
We had had a full night party, and we got up the next morning, and Gary made this concoction with eggs and sausage rolled in a flour tortilla with hot sauce on it. And he told us to eat that, and then he set a beer down on the table, and that was the last thing we wanted at that time of the morning, but that was the most fabulous meal.
Whew, Mexican breakfast.
Oh.
Gotta talk about Mexican breakfast. That was good.
You know, that always kind of confused me because we always ate it at night.
Right, so,
But don't you eat breakfast in the morning?
yeah, unless you're eating at, Mexican breakfast.
So why didn't we call it like Mexican late night snack?
Because James called it Mexican breakfast, and he was buying the food, and at that point, as I recall, he was the only one who could afford to feed that many people.
And they had a real kitchen.
Right, which no one else did there.
And they had like pots and pans.
Exactly.
And like plates.
And just eating on plates. Whoa!
Some people call it taquitos, some people call it breakfast burritos. We call it Mexican breakfast. Whatever. Fat Daddy made it famous.
Then another set of friends, David and Peggy O'Connor, introduced him to the dish that would change his life and the world.
Dad was making fajitas long before anybody knew what skirt steak was.
The popularity of James' fajitas skyrocketed.
World famous. That's his words.
Please, make fajitas, make fajitas.
And after many meetings with friends, family members, and business partners, he opened his first fake restaurant in the legendary Wichita Falls dive, formerly known as the Bar L. Within days, people were waiting in line for hours to taste his remarkable creation.
Fat Daddy was so popular in the 70s. People were going crazy for Fat Daddies.
Yeah, Fat Daddy was super famous, but I was too young to enjoy it.
He may have started the 1970s a skinny, clean-shaven, naive newlywed, but somewhere along the way he became Fat Daddy. Fake restaurants were popping up all over North Texas, Kentucky, and even Canada. At the height of his fame, the public couldn't get enough of the fajitas or Fat Daddy.
It was difficult at first, but I adapted, and then it was wonderful.
You know, as the business, as Fat Daddy just grew and grew, and I mean, it was world famous. And everywhere you would go, people would want to see him, they'd want to talk to him, they'd want to know about his recipes.
He was so well known that the President of the United States came to him for fajitas.
The astonishing success took everyone by surprise.
Well, I just sat there with my mouth open.
With his newfound success and alleged fame, wild partying ensued.
There was something going on we didn't approve of.
I don't remember too much about it because I was a little young then, but I do remember sometimes a funny smell coming from the living room. Come to find out it was only cilantro.
James struggled to avoid getting the big head. He couldn't avoid wild spending, bad investments, and really bad hair, which led to the inevitable and cliche rock bottom that almost dulled his steak knife. The lifestyle of selling computers during the day, feeding his hungry fans in the evening, and partying into the wee hours of the morning eventually took its toll.
Usually when people party as hard as he did, they would lose weight. Not James.
The hot celebrity way of life was unsustainable, so James agreed to check himself into the place that all celebrities visit at least once in their careers: the Betty Ford Fake Clinic for Alcohol and Fajita Dependency. Of course, he charmed all the nurses with his fun-loving personality.
He just likes to have fun. And no matter how bad the circumstances, no matter what's going on, he makes the best of it.
He left the clinic a new man, with his faithful wife by his side, a sordid past behind him, along with giant praying hands. He rearranged his priorities, putting his family back on top and letting God decide the restaurant's fate.
To admit it's getting better, a little better all the time. I have to admit it's getting better, it's getting better since you've been mine.
Soon, however, new obsessions took the place of the fake restaurant: theater and soccer.
Anything Fat Daddy does, he does to the extreme. Anybody who knows him knows that. And anybody who doesn't know him probably doesn't know that.
There's no business like show business like.
Chaffin got his first taste of grease paint in his veins with 1979's backdoor theater production of Heaven Can Wait. That play led to many others.
I had my boat docked at Lake Backdoor and thought I'd stop by.
Who could forget James and Robert Bridegroom?
Oh, he was great.
He was great.
He
in
was
Robert
the,
Bridegroom.
he like was that guy who chased like the naked girls around and stuff, right?
No, that was Lynn Marshall, and that was not necessarily even in the show. That was backstage.
I don't know, I've been out enjoying myself for a change. It's passing along. What did she say when she was going? No, sir, I asked her no questions and she told me no lies.
Dad loved the theater so much, he coined the phrase, "Theater is my life." And that love rubbed off on me, and it's because of him that I was typecast as a nerd for every play I was ever in.
From the stage to the pitch, Chaffin gained notoriety as the coach who spelled Colts with his body on the sidelines of soccer games.
The fans loved it. Hell, I think the other team loved it. It was so much fun. His S, his most popular letter.
An aspiring TV producer caught his sideline antics and handpicked him to host a new TV show.
Good evening, my name is James Chaffin. I'll be your host for this bi-weekly program coming to you on Vista Cablevision Channel 10.
On Soccer in Review, I was the director, Dad was in the studio hosting the show, and it was pretty much a match made in TV heaven, especially when we did a live call-in show.
We may have a call here. Let's see. Nope, that's the one nice thing about doing live TV. Let me turn the volume down here. There we go. I believe we have a call here. Hello, you're on the air. Hang it up, Michael. Sorry, this is the nice thing about live TV. We'll be right back. Hello, we're back again on Soccer in Review. We apologize for that. That's the nice thing about doing live TV. You just never know for sure what's going to happen, right? I mean, yeah, you know, hey, even Johnny Carson probably has nights like this.
Fast forward a decade or three. Fat Daddy is now a granddaddy,
I'm a fat daddy and Poppy.
named after the original Poppy, his dad, James Milton Sr. The spotlight of fame may have dimmed, the wild party days may be over, the mustache may be gone, along with a kidney, but he still grills up his famous fajitas for family and friends, and anyone else who'll give him the time of day. Fat Daddies may be fake, but the fajitas are real, and so is James Chaffin. He's the type of guy who'll cook you dinner and do anything for you.
Let's go eat. Come on.
Except give you the one secret ingredient in his fajita recipe. The fake Fat Daddy was loved and admired the world over, but the real Fat Daddy is loved by the people who matter most. His wife, his sons, his daughter-in-law, his grand ones, and just about anyone who gets to know him. Fat Daddies isn't so much a person or a place as it is a state of mind. Wherever James is grilling up some of his alleged world-famous fajitas, that's Fat Daddies.
What I generally do is I put it in a bowl, but I don't know, I like to use my hands, I don't know how.
And then lick your fingers.
Lick my fingers. A little pico de gallo. A little guacamole. A little hot sauce. And again, this is all dependent on taste. A little dollop of sour cream on top of it. Alright. Take, and you fold that bad boy. Next time we'll do shrimp.
Fat Daddy is the best